The following opinions are solely those of BoatTEST.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTEST.com, and today I'm going to do a sea trial and performance evaluation on the 51 PC from Leopard catamarans. This is a capable cruising yacht that's not only great for overnighting and entertaining, but she's comfortable being on the water as well. Let's start by taking a look at the operational features, beginning right here at the flybridge helm. The helm is mounted to the port hand side of the flybridge, but it's just offline of the center, leaving plenty of room over on the side of the captain for another set of eyes looking forward, and it's also nice to have other companions with you while you're operating the boat. As for the Helm Console itself, it begins with a compass up on top directly in line with the helm. A 12-inch display is just above the steering wheel. Two fuel gauges over to the left-hand side, Raymarine autopilot, amp gauge, the Yanmar engine display, and the digital start-stop switch. Over to the opposite side, Fusion stereo, lighting switches, a Raymarine tri-data display, another amp gauge, and the starboard side engine display, and the starboard side digital ignitions. The engine controls are well over to the starboard side, mounted at an angle. Steering wheel is mounted to a tilt base. There's a shelf just below with a railing around it so it can be used for storing stuff. Way over to the port hand side, there's more storage under an acrylic lid, and just in front of that, charging and connectivity ports. The lower helm station is over on the port side as well, but this time it's really indicative of this being a cruising yacht. There's no wheel because we're generally going to be on autopilot at this point, which is right over here, and we have full controllability. Another 12-inch display and a Raymarine VHF. Second VHF over to the side, the Fusion stereo, space for charts just underneath, and of course we have full control of the engine. Now that makes this an ideal location to operate the boat when we're in inclement weather. One thing I'd like to see is a padded seat back right here. To the aft bulkhead on the starboard side, we just swing the TV out of the way, and that allows us the ability to open up this panel, and now we can get to the ship's electrical system. The 12-volt panel, another 12-volt panel, and two 120-volt panels, the two engine controls, generator controls, and the air conditioning controls. Now the engines are located under the berths at the aft stateroom to both sides. This isn't really problematic because this isn't a yacht that you're going to be running overnight, but if you were, it's still quiet enough in here that you can't sleep even while the engines are running, and we'll measure that when we get underway. Bringing up this hatch gives us easy access to the Yanmar engine. There's room to both sides for servicing. The service checkpoints are mostly fully forward. All hoses are double clamped. There's insulation going all the way around and above for soundproofing. Of course, this is all repeated to the opposite side as well. To the stern are two compartments that conceal the steering gear with storage just ahead.
When it came time to get underway, she was easy to maneuver as expected, with those props being so far apart. That means she's also easy to bring around, all while keeping the engines in idle. Underway, she's got good control authority and responds well to helm inputs. Leopard 51 has a length overall of 51 feet, a beam of 25 feet 1 inch, and a draft of 3 feet 3 inches. With an empty weight of 40,785 pounds, full fuel, and 3 people on board, we had an estimated test weight of 45,360 pounds. With a pair of 370 horsepower Yanmar 8LV diesels turning 584 by 586 mm 4-bladed props, we reached a top speed of 23.2 knots at 3,800 RPM. As is typical of a catamaran, the performance is rather linear, so there really is no best cruise speed. We found her most comfortable to operate at 3,000 RPM and 17 knots, where the 20.2 gallon per hour fuel burn resulted in 0.8 nautical miles per gallon and a range of just under 300 nautical miles. For distance cruising, 1,500 RPM resulted in a speed of 8.2 knots and a fuel burn of 2.9 gallons per hour. That translated into nearly 3 nautical miles per gallon and a range of 1,027.6 nautical miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve of the boat's 396-gallon total fuel capacity. She accelerates on an even keel, coming up to planing speed in an average 8.8 seconds and continuing through 20 miles per hour in 12.9. She's got excellent turning authority, so those boating in waters heavily laden with pop buoys will have little concern over evasion tactics. Of course, with a boat that should be rock solid in seas, we get flat calm conditions with nothing but a wake here and there, so we just can't comment on how well she handles rough water, and that's unfortunate. I would like to see the addition of spray rails though. I just feel that this would serve to further impart a dry ride when the going gets rough. Now as for that sound level in the master at cruise speed, we measured 79 and 80 decibels, about as loud as a vacuum cleaner. Overall, this is a well-handled boat, and it's no wonder that Leopard does so well with their charter arm, the moorings, keeping these models quite busy. It's easily an owner-operated boat, but there's also room for privacy even when a captain is aboard. She's also well suited for entertaining, but that's another video, be sure to look for it. For now, that's my full sea trial and performance evaluation of the 51 Power Cat from Leopard. For BoatTEST.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.